tennis club, and I'm guessing that that's a picture of Dad playing against somebody, but I really don't, I can't see for certain. It looks a little tall for Dad, but it moves like Dad. Yeah, that's who it is. I think this is Dad playing for the club championship, something that he lost. There you are. Anyway, he lost that championship to a man about 20 years his junior, and he'd been up most of the night before with a patient, but he put on a good show. Well, there you are. I don't know. I'm guessing at the age here that you appear probably somewhere around 4. With that black car in the background, that still looks like one of our old 1949 Ford. There's Grandpa's. That's about a 55 Chevrolet that he had. I think that's the first car that he had when he came to live with us, which is about right. He had a Studebaker prior to that. Now you may recognize some of these folks appropriate to your age. I certainly don't. I'll try to pick out any if I can. You know, I just got thinking this might be an appropriate thing if you recognize any to send me some kind of a write-up on where things are in a tape, and I can dub it in for myself later on. Looked like Mary Jean there. Palm trees. Boy, I'm sure not recognizing this. Let's see if I can see anything here. I might even back it up if I can't identify it soon, or if I figure it out later and then add it on. Okay, I know where we are. This is Florida vacation that we made about age 14. That's Raj and Lynn. We had gone to visit them in Birmingham, Alabama, and Raj got the idea of going down to Treasure Island, Florida, south of Tampa, St. Petersburg. And we had a heck of a good time. It was one of the first vacations that I recall, kind of impromptu like this. I don't think it had been planned before we went. Really had a wonderful time. That's when Dad coined the term shuffle and shuffleboard, that the disc were shuffles and that the scooter was a shuffler. He and I did some fishing for what we call trout here in saltwater. It's actually the spotted weakfish. Really had a wonderful time. This probably was Christmas of about, that's Doug Crow, Darcy. So I'm guessing that this is about, that's our old 1953 Ford station wagon. Dad bought it used, it wasn't new, so I'm guessing that this is about 1955. Interestingly, on that trip, I still recall, we all went on the train. Dad came later, and you stopped urinating and caused a great deal of concern. You went all night, and Mom was just absolutely panic-stricken. I don't recall whether Dad came later. He obviously drove and caught up to us, but finally, after about 12 or 14 hours, you urinated. The probable reason, there was no infection. You were probably just kind of stimulated and overwhelmed by the train trip. But it was really a traumatic night for Mom, I recall, and it's obvious that I was worried too. That I remember it. Really was a nice family time. Probably was one of the best family vacations that I recall we ever had. Raj, remember, treated us to an incredible dinner. I still remember the name of the place, Louis Papa's. God, we had seafood. We all ordered different things like you might in a Chinese restaurant and shared, and it was an incredible feed. Well, here we are back in Chicago. Looks like at a younger age. Now this is going to be church camp, and I wonder if this isn't the pictures where Marilyn shows up. It's Mary Jean. It might not be church camp. This could be a record day trip. We always would go to the Indiana Dunes. I'll just kind of watch here. No, that's church camp, because there's the tennis court up above, and there you are. I don't know if you remember the new first church camp at Bridgman, Michigan. I'm trying to guess. That's Mrs. Belland, Mary Belland's mother. I believe she was killed in an automobile accident some years ago. There I am playing flag raising or flag lowering. Trying to see what the sun angle is here. I guess it's probably flag raising, since the flag is up. And there's the inflatable rubber raft that the Boy Scouts had that they would donate. It was really the section of a World War II pontoon bridge. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing here age 3 or 4 again. Naturally curly hair obviously shows. This is so dark on my monitor, I really can't see what it is. I suspect that it's still church camp at that bench at the top of the hill. Yeah, that's what it is, and people sitting around talking. Well, there you go. Looks like Mary Jean. And there comes Mr. Swimmer. Now let's see. Here goes the ladies off to something fancy. I mean, this might well just be dress up play. It looks too fancy even for the fanciest church kind of thing that we would have had. So maybe y'all were just playing dress up. There's Grandpa's bench again. Gosh, I don't recognize these kids. There's the 53 Ford station wagon. I certainly remember that. Oh, there's Mom. Very unusual to have pictures of her. This is me in the Boy Scout canoe regatta. This was probably the only thing I was ever the absolute best at in my league. That I was a one-man single-blade champion for 4 years running in Chicago. And it was a wonderful time. This is right up by Lincoln Park. It's a race called the Tail End Race that I did pretty well at too. It was, you sit in the front of the canoe and paddle forward, and the canoe tends to swing around. It's kind of a technique above and beyond, and this was a hand paddle type race. This must be the finals of that one-man single blade. This was the two canoe rescue. The first guy went out and swamped the canoe, and then the other one came along and righted it, tied it on behind, and then went down around the marker and came back. Looks like you guys have been doing some baking. I don't know, what do you guess, age 3 or 4? No, this is the Indiana Dunes area again. Lake Michigan figured prominently in our little one-day vacations. I guess that probably is me at the 10 to 12 age, I'm guessing. Or no, well, it had to be a little older than 12, because you are there at about, I think you're probably 2 in that picture, so that's probably about age 13. Yeah, maybe that's just before 2. Yeah, that's probably me out there with that snorkel thing on. Now, that's Mary Jean, and I'm guessing that that's up at Peninsula State Park in Wisconsin, although it could be, yeah, that's up in Peninsula State Park. Notice the rocks and see how clear the water is. Very little sand there. That first picture might have been Eric's son had a boat, and we'd water ski behind it. Actually, we wouldn't water ski it. We'd had a thing like a surfboard. It was a big square board that we'd pull. The water was terribly clear. It was really beautiful. That's Lake Michigan up there. Anyway, his boat wasn't strong enough to pull skis, but with this big flat board there was sufficient planing surface, and that was the first time we did that. And to come to tell you the truth, I'm not sure it was Eric. It might have been a friend of his that had the boat. But we really had some good times up there. You can see how round these rocks were. They weren't terribly uncomfortable to walk on because there weren't any sharp edges. Seems to me that I recall that this particular spot was one that we had heard about called Pebble Beach, and we found Mom had heard about it and we drove to it. I have a feeling that this probably was like a family Sunday, maybe going out to eat. Looks like Beth wearing a graduation ribbon there, so there. I think that's Grandpa in the background. Might even be heading toward your graduation, because I don't recall ever. Yeah, I'll bet this is it. This is probably Bethy's graduation from 8th grade. This is the sidewalk heading up to the gymnasium that was used for such ceremonies. There's Grandma. Oh, and that's Mrs. Hintz. Mrs. Hintz. That was the lady that she lived with and kind of babysat for. That kind of, in retrospect, probably was a Alzheimer's patient. Now that's Max and Mary Clark again. People we had initially met in Yellowstone and stayed friends with over the years. They must have come to visit. Just simply wonderful people. I have a very fond memory of making apple cider at their place during that second grade year of mine out in Seattle. This is a badminton game that we were playing in the backyard. Kind of a good memory was we were playing that, and John Murray came over and started playing with us, and Camille called out and said, "God damn it, John, you're gonna have another goddamn heart attack and die, you old fart." It was really a wonderful thing. I think this was probably one of Mom's best purchases, and it seems to me she might have gotten it with S&H green stamps. This is all Marilyn Newton. I'm going to stop this right now and make some coffee. Okay, Synth, I'm back here. This is obviously a Christmas scene, and I am. It's just simply too dark to see, even in the monitor. I don't know where we are in this, but. Well, there's Bethy, I can see that. Well, time goes along here. Let's see what that, white scarf. This is going to be at least the first year of college for me. There's Grandpa. This time it's already, you might see the fading. He had stomach cancer. That white scarf I asked for because of flying, so I had already begun to fly. So this has got to be sometime after 1957. I suspect that this is either Christmas of 58 or 59. Seeing Mom with that Corningware dish, you know, I already told you about the Revereware 9-inch skillet that I got her. I stopped about 4 days ago, and I look like Mike to me in that picture. I have to have him take a look at these things. Anyway, I stopped at the Revere outlet store, and I bought myself the one that Mom and Dad had no longer exists. I do remember that the handle came loose. I imagine they pitched it in, or Mom burned it up. Let's see if this is a shirt or something he gave Dad. Guess he did not get open. There's Grandpa still in that old car. God, I don't know who that was. The hula hoop. I never did learn how to do that thing. Never could get it to stay up and coordinate it. can see Christmases were a big time for the movie camera to drag out. See if I can get some kind of an idea here of the year. Be interested to know if you see any similarity, if you flash back and forth between Mom and Marilyn. Yeah, this is back at church camp. I wondered if those sidewalks with the sand. That's the sitting area again at the top of the stairs leading down to the lake. I think that tall figure is Walt Pilditch. Or else flag raising again. I can't see, it's too dark. I suspect that's not me in the picture. I don't know though, with those white socks, it sure could be. I sure don't remember going that often. That motion, even though it's dark, that sure looks like me. Yeah, it is. Boy, I sure don't have any recollection of going more often than about my 4th grade year, but obviously I did. We go back some on the last weekend as we got older, and that's possibly what that was. I think that's Al Jenkins. I recognize those shorts, and that's probably Kay with the kids. Yeah, that's the last weekend. See, and we're bringing in the raft to package it up, close up at the end of camp. I think maybe going out. Maybe it's the first weekend. We held it in place with anchors with big concrete blocks. That's a old discus that Dad got for me, and God, we kept that around for a long years. Never did anything much with it. They didn't have that in our sports program at high school. Funny, isn't it, to see all these pictures of Mary Jean? Kind of heavier and rounder than she is now. Looks like graduation again. Wonder if this is my 8th grade graduation. Yeah, that's Gail Cosbade in the middle there. That was my. My 8th grade flame. That's Neil Atkinson. Recognize that face. Mrs. McManus. You. It's the old 53 Ford station wagon back there, and I have no idea who that kid is. This is back to in the previous tape of Bethy's. I guess. Wonder if Mary Jean went also, or whether she's just helping out Beth coming back or from Girl Scout camp. Gosh, I'm guessing that's Mrs. Arkema. I'm not certain though. It's hard to remember. Well, it's Door County again. That's Horseshoe Island out there. Let's see what I can see here. Yeah, it's that Pebble Beach kind of area that I told you about before. I wonder if I might be taking these pictures since Mom and Dad are in them, but hard to remember here. probably got a Mercedes by this time. I would have to put this after 1958. And actually that's a better Mercedes than we're used to having, so that it's got to be even after about 1959 or so. But I really think that this is Door County again. Looking at the terrain. One other possibility, it seems to me y'all took a trip one time up around Lake Superior. It's possible that this is from that trip. I'm just really not certain. Looks like John Murray's backyard, but oh no, that's Dad's office. Yeah, this is Dad's office at 87th and Troop. That you know, when he bought his own building after he'd been out on his own for a little while. Dad got some socks. Probably put them away. He probably still has them brand new. I think that must be El Canini. Yeah, that's El Canini. And Grandma Crow. You know, I think that's El Capitan. For some reason, I have the feeling that this is when you guys drove out to pick up Mary Jean and come back. We'll have to just wait and see. Yep, that's oh, I can't remember the name of the falls. I've hiked down from there. It's a beautiful, beautiful area back into the canyon. If you proceeded up that trail, you'd come up on the backside of Half Dome. Yeah, there's there's Mary Jean.
Yeah.
Grizzly Giant, that's the big redwood. It's in the Cathedral Grove. Okay, this is my graduation from college. This would be June of 1963. We're back at church camp. Remember the bell. I think that's Betty Fish. Yeah, that's Bill Fish. That's the donut that was in the center where, passengers would go on a raft. If you flipped it upside down, provided more flotation for that rubber raft pontoon section that we used. Must be getting toward the end of church camp and, taking things down. Well, there you are, synth, obviously much older. Oh, that's Jan Castrobala. Recognize that face. This has got to be a birthday party of mine, I think. Judging by the hairdo, I'm guessing it's about age 12. That was Gail English, Bob Bennett. That's Warren Wakerland. Ah, that's Gail Cosspade there. 8th grade, this is 8th grade party we must have had. Jan Kostrabala. That's Mrs. Belland pouring. That's Mary Belland. Oh God, Pete Falenga that face was. Boy, that reaching back. That's Neil Atkinson. Is this Bethy's wedding? Bob? It's so dark I'm having trouble seeing it, but sure looks like that. Tom Fleming, Mrs. Fleming. We're back in Yellowstone now. You and Mary Jean. Old Faithful. This is the Mammoth Hot Springs in the northern part of the Yellowstone Park. Here's the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone again. It's the lower falls. That's the one. It's the lower, meaning it's the at the down end. It's actually the highest. It's three. That's the one I think that's 308 feet. Lower Falls. How about that for a memory? Okay, now that's Aunt Helen to the left. Now this is back, obviously. Younger day, I think. Yeah, this is back when we were on the move from Seattle, or from Staten Island to Seattle, and this was the Badlands. There's Bethy at about age 5, Mary Jean at 2. This is the Badlands of North Dakota. This is one of our, we came across Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania. This is the Badlands of North or South Dakota, and just really nothing grows there. I do remember stopping, getting out there. Probably from these pictures I remember it too. Funny thing I also remember from those days is this, again, kind of flip back, this would be the summer of 1948, that pulling this trailer that we had, the Dad was all excited about the new ethyl gasoline that had been developed and out that might help with the engine performance. Boy, that old 1940 Ford was sure not up to pulling that trailer. I think it was probably only about 23 feet long. Had no facilities. We had running water if we were hitched to it. This is what I mentioned earlier. This is the swimming pool at Mammoth Hot Springs in Yellowstone Park. And there are going to be some pictures here of Dad diving. But anyway, the smallest grade that 1940 Ford would boil, and what we finally came up with as a plan was that Dad, although it was illegal, Dad would get up early in the morning, and we'd take off even while while it was dark and cool, and somehow they'd signal each other, and Dad would stop, and then we'd have breakfast. There was no toilet in the trailer, and the icebox was literally that. That's Dad's legs. He was doing handstands in the pool. And it was literally an icebox that, if we had ice, it was cold, but there was no mechanical refrigeration. That's Dad diving. There I am. A lot of these national parks had pools like this, and it was, they've all been taken out as, incompatible with the philosophy of the natural park. Well, I have no idea where these pictures are taken from. Look like they're taken from a train. Yeah, that looks like San Francisco skyline. I bet that's got to be the Stanford campus. While I've not seen it myself, I've seen pictures of those red tile roofs. Imagine this is Mary Jean's graduation. Rose Bowl. Maybe. Remember you guys went out there one time when Purdue played. Yeah, see those gold uniforms? I think that's Purdue. There's Patches. Litter. I think this was about my first or second medical school year. That's funny, I remember, I don't know if you do too, that Mom really wanted Patches to have that experience of being a mother. This has a graduation look to it also. That's the old 220 SE. Boy, if Dad still had that car, it'd be about $250,000 richer. It was, I don't know if you recall that, it was cream colored, had a gray leather interior, 6-cylinder, single overhead cam, 140 horsepower. It was a going machine. Yeah. 8th grade graduation, Kate Starr Kellogg. Looks like these little puppies do nothing but go to the bathroom, doesn't it? This is my medical school graduation. Not be tired. Let's see, if I was about, what do you say, 26, 27 there, that gives you an idea of your age. Well, that hair's disappearing already, and I didn't realize it had started that early. I'll be darned. This was Leslie and I leaving to go off to the Air Force. Get all teary-eyed thinking about it. We drove away and I saw Mom and Dad standing in the driveway or out in the street waving to us. I cried all the way to the interstate. Boy. Huh. And I have a feeling this is back at Treasure Island, Florida, vacation that we had when I was about 14. This looks like the San Francisco, Monterey Peninsula area, judging by the trees. Yeah, I bet this is Mary Jean on Stanford's campus. Yep. Yeah, Mary Jean's graduation. The dogs, what's that? That looks like one of our Air Force houses. No, that's Beth and Bob's house. I think this is Anderson, Indiana. That must be David. I'm guessing if that's David, that Beth and Bob, that's probably Toby, I think, was the dog they had. This is our first year in the Air Force. This is Colony Club Apartments, Washington, D.C. Almost scenic tour of Mid-America there. Huh. That's Matt. This is jump back. There you are at your first Christmas. Makes me 11. You know, it's amazing seeing this again. This is only the second time I've been all the way through it, but really reminds me what a tremendous span of years Mom filmed. There's Bud and Raj. Lynn. Yeah, it must be Christmas. his mom at about age 41, I think. Aha. The cheerleader. Interesting, this is a time in your life that I didn't know you at all. Looks like Dad's going off hunting instead of going to the game with you. Yeah, there he is. Do you think this? Yeah, Soldier Field, Chicago. Well, Morgan Park must have made it to the playoff again. I played there one time. I had an abscess in my mouth, erupting wisdom tooth. I remember when I started to play, it popped. Doesn't look good for the home team. Mustangs, dun 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 dun. There's Matt. This is the Christmas of 1969. Leslie and I have separated, and I've come back home. This is the first time I've seen him in about 3 months. It was a difficult time, but already doing better. Cynth, I think you must have been in at least your first year of college here. Because I remember when everything came unglued and I came home, it seems to me that you weren't there. It was just Mom and Dad. So you must have come home from school for Christmas time also. More pictures of Matt from the same weekend, or same time, I imagine. Grandma Kroll. That was her dog, Clarabelle. Yeah, this is Mrs. Hitz's house over on, between 94th and 95th on either Hoyne or Damon, something like that. It's in the Forest Preserve across the street. That's where's Winnie Aronson, and that was Robbie. That's Maury Aronson.